Welcome. Join me as I explore the Canaveral National Seashore. The Canaveral National Seashore is almost 58,000 acres and includes 24 miles of untouched beach. In addition to the 24 miles of beautiful, pristine beach line, there is a barrier island with Mosquito Lagoon, which is an open lagoon, coastal hammocks, and pine flat woods. This is the perfect habitat for the many threatened and endangered species that live in Canaveral National Seashore. It also provides the perfect beach line for several thousand protected marine turtles. This actually includes freshwater turtles and saltwater turtles. Mosquito Lagoon makes up about 2/3 of the park and is one of the most diverse and productive estuaries in North America. As if that wasn't enough, Canaveral National Seashore actually has a wonderful manatee viewing area, which this is the perfect time to visit. And it is the perfect place to see any of the rocket launches from Kennedy Space Center. Have I convinced you? Are you ready to join me? There's two entrances to the Canaveral National Seashore. One is at Apollo Beach in New Smyrna, and the second, which is the entrance we're taking, is at Playa Linda Beach in Titusville. We're actually going to cross over the A. Max Brewer Bridge at the intersection of Florida 406 and A1A. Once across the bridge, we're going to go through the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge. Now, the refuge is very big, so we're going to drive a bit. You're going to see a lot of natural, untouched Florida. It's absolutely gorgeous drive. As you're driving through, if you look to the right, there will be spots where you can actually see some of the launch pad and towers for the Kennedy Space Center. Eventually, you're going to come to a four-way intersection with a red light. You want to go straight at that intersection to get to the beach part. Once you go through the intersection, you'll very shortly after, you'll come to a guard gate where you're going to pay your entry fee. Okay, you see the upcoming curve in the road? This takes you to parking areas 1 through 13. Again, 13 is the nude beach. To the right of this curve, there is no parking areas, there's no roads, and then that becomes property of Kennedy Space Center. That's where the launch pads, the control towers, the roads for all the employees to get in, all of that is Kennedy Space Center. Okay, let's continue to the parking area. Once you get around the curve, you're actually going to be approaching the very first parking area. That's the parking lot if there is space that you want to park in for any of the rocket launches. I do want to show you the parking area just to show you the proximity of the parking spots to the bridge that takes you over the dune to the beaches. You can see here the ramps. The ramps are very wide. They're perfect for anyone in a wheelchair or with mobility issues. And then there's also stairs for those that aren't. The view from the top of the bridge gives you a wonderful look all the way down the seashore in either direction. Now remember, to the right of the parking area is the seashore that doesn't have any parking areas or roads going to it. And that's also the property further down is the property for Kennedy Space Center. If you walk that seashore, you are going to come to a spot where you have to stop. That is the property line, and you can't go any further. Let's go back to the map and look at the proximity of Kennedy Space Center and the launch pads and with the very first parking lot. The straight blue line on this map is actually the property line or the stopping point for the Kennedy Space Center property. And then further down are the launch pads. The blue dot is the very first parking lot for the Canaveral National Seashore. So you can see how close they really are. While we're on the map, let's take a look at the space between Playa Linda Beach and Apollo Beach that truly is untouched. You take a look at this map and you see the blue mark towards the bottom. That is the last parking area, the last area where any vehicle can go at Playa Linda Beach end, or the southern end. And the blue mark to the top is the very last spot or parking area or road or even man-built structure of any kind at the north end or the Apollo Beach end. So you see there's a very long span, that 24 miles, where it is pristine, untouched. You can walk there, you can hike there. There's just no vehicles allowed, and there's no building structures. There's no bathrooms, there's no electricity, no running water. Now, the north end also is where you're going to find the primitive camping, which we'll cover in a little bit. Let's go see the manatee. Remember when we were coming into the park, we talked about the four-way intersection with the red light? If you take a left there, or if you're coming away from the beach, you're going to take a right. Go down until you see there will be signs that says manatee viewing area. I want to show you again the parking lot in comparison to where the viewing platform is. So straight ahead is the steps going up to the viewing platform. And then to the left of those, you see the ramp going to the viewing platform. And again, it is a wide ramp. Another view, here's the parking area. There's the handicap spots, and there's the viewing platform. So it is very much ADA accessible. Now, from the platform, you get a really good view up and down the river. There's the drawbridge to let the boats in and out. And on this particular day, there were a lot of boats, and it was fairly warm. So we did not see any manatee. Actually, we saw one leaving as we got there. If you notice this shrub area to the left, take note of that. We're going to look at something in just a moment. So we just see a lot of boats. On the other side, there's a lot of people fishing. It was actually a gorgeous day. Now, this shrub area, this is where I see the most manatee concentration when it's cold. It's just to the left end of the viewing platform. It's really easy to find. That's where you want to go to see the manatee. Okay, is there camping? No, but yes. There's not camping at the south end of the Canaveral National Seashore. However, there is camping at the north end of the Canaveral National Seashore, which is in Apollo Beach in New Smyrna. Now, the camping is primitive. There's no RVs, there's no trailers allowed. You do have to use a kayak or a canoe to get to the majority of the spots. In fact, if you are in campsites 1 through 5, you can actually rent a canoe from them for $25 a person. The canoe is for 2 people and your gear. It is very primitive. There's no electricity, there's no water, there's no plumbing of any kind, no showers, no toilets, there's no stores. You can't buy ice, you can't buy firewood. They don't allow metal detectors. It's not ADA accessible by any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of hiking around the camping area. Some of the camping sites are in different islands. So it's primitive, but it's beautiful. If you are a primitive camper or are okay with primitive camping, this is the spot for you. Thank you for exploring the Canaveral National Seashore with me. I really hope you get a chance to explore it for yourself. Bye for now.